it means to when we ask questions, it can help us. Yeah. So, for example, it can help us understand
to find the main idea.
we are
Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, we're going to bring it back together as a group. And what did you guys come up with? Do you have a couple of examples or a couple ideas? Go ahead and start.
Alright.
How? Retelling. Okay. What about you?
Alright.
You hear something and then you tell somebody else in your own words.
Yes. And what about you? You have any advice? Yes, telling about the text. So retelling, what I came up with is retelling is telling all of the details of the story. And it's doing it in the author's words. Maybe it's getting too word. But summary is when you take the most important things and you do that on your own. So what we're going to talk about today is summary, because summary is going to help you if you're reading a book and someone says, hey, can you tell me what that book is about? And you're not going to tell them all of the details of the book because maybe they want to read it too, but you're going to tell them only the important stuff so they want to read it themselves. So can you just, think about for a second what you did this weekend for Halloween? And can you turn and talk to your neighbor just real quick, just what you guys did for Halloween?
I went to know what you got.
All right, let's bring it back together now. So the point of me doing that was, were you guys able to tell the whole thing, or did I cut you off before you had time to finish? I cut you off. Yeah, because sometimes you don't have a lot of time to tell a summary when you have a little bit of time. So you got to tell the most important details. So take a second, one more second, and talk about really quick what those important details are. 10 seconds.
I went, somebody scared me, and I saw
All right. That's it. But the point of that, like I said, you just want to get the most important things out. Okay? So today, to help us out, we are going to look at what's called a summary pyramid. So I made an example with a book called The 300 Caterpillar. Has anyone ever read that when they were younger? It might, some people, look, you guys, some people might have read it and some people might have not. But it's got a pretty easy storyline. And so I use this to help me get the most important details out of it. If you look at it, you've got the first line, which is the character's name. The second line, you're using 2 words to describe that character. The third line is 3 words describing the setting in the story. The fourth line is 4 words stating the problem, and the fifth line is 5 words describing one event. The sixth line is 6 words describing another event. The seventh line is 7 words describing another event, and then the eighth is 8 words describing a solution to the problem. So if we look through this, I said that the character's name was a caterpillar. 2 words to describe that caterpillar are green and hungry. 3 words describing the setting are outside with things. 4 words stating the problem was he was very hungry. 5 words describing one event was he came from an egg. And 6 words were the caterpillar ate food every day, and that was one event. The second event was the caterpillar turned into, the caterpillar ate food every day. And then another event is the caterpillar turned into a beautiful butterfly. And then the solution to the problem in 8 words is that the caterpillar ate lots and lots of food. So I came up with a definition, and I have it on both of my anchor charts, and it says the definition of summary is recalling and understanding the main points of a story. So we're going to take what we learned in this anchor chart about this summary pyramid to help us sort of put one together. And this summary pyramid is going to help us sort of focus our ideas on what we're going to talk about and what you would talk about if you were going to retell a story. So to help us out, we are going to read a story called Some Birthday by Patricia Palaco. And I'm going to show the pictures around. And if by looking at the cover of this book and the words on it, what do you think is going to happen?
It's going to be someone's birthday.
There might be someone scared, and what'd you say?
What do you think it is?
Maybe so. What do you think?
It is a little
I
long.
was thinking maybe like
A shoe. You guys are correct. Yeah. How did we come up with a shoe?
Yeah, and maybe that can happen. And so were you guys looking at the pictures for that? Were you also looking at the words to help you figure out those things? So that's activating our schemas to get started and help us figure out what might happen in the story. So let's get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to model how this anchor chart would work. Then you guys are going to do it in groups together, and then you're going to do it individually by the end, okay? So let's get started. On the first page here, it says,
I'm going to put that on our.
my mom and dad were divorced. My brother Rich and I lived with my mother, except that we spent every summer with my dad and grandma. My dad's mother, cousin Billy, lived nearby. Dad was a traveling salesman. It was my job to get him up and to make sure his socks matched. He was colorblind, you Before he went to work, Dad and I would breakfast together. We'd talk about everything in the world, and he would always make me laugh. But today, he wasn't saying anything, and it was my birthday. Anything special happening today, Daddy? I asked, hoping it would help him remember. No, honey, today's about the same as any other day, I'd say. Just as I was going to drop a big hit about the pedal pushers and blouse I wanted for my birthday, he was out the door, into his car, and off to work. See you tonight, honey, he called out. So at this point, I'm going to stop. And I'm thinking about the first line of this chart, and it says the character's name. Now, I haven't heard a character's name yet, but I know that she's a girl. I know she's a girl from what we've been talking about so far in this book. So I'm going to go ahead and write girl up on this chart, and we're going to keep reading and see if something else can help us find her name.
When we're going through the book, we may have questions as well, right?
So, let's keep reading and see if we can find out anything else. And also, when we keep on reading, we're going to look for 2 words to describe the character. And think about that as we keep going and what you already know so far.
And we'll go over them. All right?
That night, when Dad came home, I looked for a birthday present. He read the paper like he always did. Then, he started watching TV, like he always
Down the
did.
street one morning, Zeke Pippin found a harmonica. He didn't exactly find it. It fell at his feet from a garbage wagon that happened
Suddenly, my dad sat up in his easy chair and got that look in his eye that usually meant he was up to something. I think tonight might be the perfect night to do it, he said. Do what, my brother and my cousin Billy asked. I think tonight we should head down to the clay pit.
Now let's keep reading.
But Dad, I said, everybody knows that the clay pit is haunted. I'm with you, Dad, my brother said. Me too, added Billy. Not only had my birthday been completely forgotten, but now we had to go to one of the scariest places on earth. And at night, tonight, we're going to get the very first photograph ever taken of the monster at Clay Pit Bus. Even though I was scared, I began to feel a little excited.
Finally, one Sunday in June.
Okay, so at this point, we're learning a little bit more about the character.
Zeke without his
And I'm thinking that this last sentence here says, even though I was scared, I began to feel a little excited. So I'm going to say one of these words that describe this girl is anxious. And I'm going to add that on her graph because she's really anxious about what's going to happen. Can you guys turn and talk to your neighbors about maybe another word that describes her? It can be anything. So you guys turn and talk a little bit. I'm going to write that one up there, and you guys think about it, okay?
And it was the same story of every single one of Zeke's would-be concerts. Somehow the Pippins went out like a light, no matter how merry the music. So I think
Look back at ages.
Another word, she is
What about you? Like, what do you think about her? It can be anything. It can be a
now,
thing.
she's scared, but at the same time she's excited.
the
excited.
father not only slept, but snored. It was like a slap in the face.
Yeah, that is excited.
The ones who
Well, we have to find a word that
how can I go on living without
leaves both of them.
Alright, friends, let's bring it back together. Do you guys have any ideas of another word that you talked about? Yes. Excited, that's a good one. What about you?
behavior. Well, one way personality had
She was nervous, so that's one word. First, you guys say.
and the second mostly with
We said that she was
dawn.
scared.
Her mantra is one pocket.
Scared and excited. Now, is there anything else that you guys
Go
know?
down the stairs and left home.
Anxious, that's one we already put up there. Alright, so let's come to a group consensus on what we want to put as our second part. You said nervous. What do you guys think about that? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Shoved and shimmied it
Thumbs up.
into the river. Loaded it with his stuff.
Alright, and what do you think, Cynthia? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. Okay. Do you guys want to go ahead and add that one to our chart? It looks like that we nicely got that.
As the red sun grows, it can add that into our driving down the Holly River, face to face with the wide open sky. Sometimes his rapture is this way, sometimes that way, and sometimes it's
So we're going to continue to read. And our next line on this chart, it says 3 words describe a setting.
peanut butter.
So let's keep on reading and see if we find out maybe some more about the setting and some words that describe that. And remember that when we're reading, our thinking is evolving, so it's changing. So if you're out the story, some things may change, and we may need to change what we say on our
Not
reading.
off. Not even back on. You gotta see your company. And
Alright, it says, okay, Richie boy, you get the bait. Dad told my brother as he read from a list he made. Some smelly cheese will do. I'll get some from the fridge, said Grandma. You get my camera, Billy, said Dad. Okay, Uncle Bill, my cousin called. Patricia, you go get the flashlight. Got him, I called out as I held up 2 Everlast midnight specials. Hot dogs, buns, marshmallows, my dad said. I'll put them in a basket for you and the children, William, said Grandma. If we each carry a blanket, we'll be all set, said Dad. We put on galoshes, rain gear, and wool hats in case it got cold. So, one thing I noticed as we were reading was that it gave the name of the character in this. It says, Patricia, you go get the flashlights. Got 'em, I called out as I held up 2 Everlast midnight specials. So right there, it told us that the main character's name is Patricia. So I can go ahead and change that on our chart up here because I know that. So I'm going to put it in parentheses next to
Alright, now, I have some volunteers.
Alright.
What was your question?
Alright. So, I also want you guys to think about, there's a lot going on in this story. So what about, what's the setting of the story? If you don't know, it's home. And what are 2 other words to describe home?
Why did he leave?
Think about it for a second. You can talk to your neighbor if you like.
Can I get one more volunteer? How about over here?
What do you notice about what we've read? What'd you say?
What question do you have?
Look, anything's great. Can I tell you one word I thought about? And that's comfortable. They're comfortable at home. So home and comfortable, what's one more word?
Cozy.
Cozy. That's a good one. We want to go ahead and add those 3 words to our chart. Let's do that.
Alright. What's your question?
So why does she still have her clothes on? Why does she have the same clothes on?
Why do you keep her on the bush?
Is it other than that? Or just
I don't know. Why does he keep her on the
Why do you take a shower?
All right. So the next one says 4 words stating the problem. So up to this point, we can go ahead and say what the problem is in this story. Now, can you turn and talk for a second, just a little bit, about what the problem is in this story, and think about the title when you do that, and try to do it in 4 words. You and your neighbor write 4 words on a post-it note about what that means, or what it is, the problem.
We're going to keep reading. We're going to keep thinking of some questions we may have, okay?
Okay.
An excursion boat
What's the
turning
word?
up the river presented the opportunity
So you're doing 4 words and you're stating the problem of the story. Think about what we've been reading about.
I think the problem is that she can't, nobody remembers her birthday.
He was the owner of that bird.
Yeah, those are good ones. So write that one down.
She's excited.
Why don't you write that question down? Pondering this remarkable piece of garbage, he slid into dreamland. There he found his poor mother and father and his poor brother and sister, all crying their hearts out. showered with clover, and the carpet with hot tears as the festivals heavily go on without their so beloved Ezekiel. Zeke woke up crying too, reviling himself and his
Nice job, partner.
He knew he must bring them surcease of their sorrow as swiftly as possible. Europe was a hateful misunderstanding.
I'm gonna say
The
what?
rat was a float of dream. You have to find his right place.
It doesn't have to be a full sentence.
I'm gonna say what?
Or just they forgot birthday present. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be a full sentence. Just a quick description.
Pausing now and then to fortify himself with some licorice. Take it easy, pal. We'll
Take a couple more seconds.
the dogs will keep going out. Thanks a million, guys, he cried as the dogs tugged him in.
Ready?
Once on solid ground.
Who has a good idea that they think we can add to our card? Anybody want to?
Hey, look at
They forgot
this.
was
The
her
leader
birthday?
chortled.
They forgot March was her birthday. That's 6 words. We're trying to get to 4.
Said, it's
Don't have birthday.
Don't have birthday. That's 3. Party. Okay. What was your thought? They forgot birthday present. That's 4. What about you, Acacia? You want to tell what you said? You came up with a good one. They forgot her birthday. You think that's a good idea? Do you want to give a thumbs up to that? Thumbs up? Can we add that to our chart? Thank you for that,
Again,
Acacia.
and turn and talk to our partner about questions about apple reading. This is your
You hit me.
You guys can see how hard it is to make, just get it into just a couple of words. So that's what, the goal is with this, that we can focus in on those couple of words to make it a concise summary. So let's keep going. The next one says we're going to use 5 words to describe one event. So I'm going to give you a stopping point, but keep thinking about one event that's going to happen after this, okay? We marched down the street toward the bottomland at the edge of town. We're almost there. My dad called out in a kind of scary voice.
What was your question? Do you think she's real or imaginary?
As we came up to the edge of the water, it looked black and very deep. I think I saw something, Billy whispered. We all gasped and stood stock still as we watched the water for a sign that the monsters approached. Come on, kids, my dad ordered. We have to set up camp. He threw our blankets over a low-hanging branch and put rocks on the corners to make a tent. Then we all collected wood for our campfire. So I'm going to stop here for a second because I'm noticing something about the setting. Put your thumbs up if you think it stayed the same, or put your thumbs down if you think it's changed.
Thank you.
Alright, it's changed. Can someone tell me what the setting has changed
Now,
to?
this time
It changed to outside.
Outside, okay? So this is one of those points that we can say that we've realized that our thinking is changing and that the book is changing as we go along. So we put up here 3 words describing the setting: comfortable and cozy. Now, I don't think that really reflects all of the settings of the story. So I'm going to change
Itchy.
itchy. You want to add that one too? Why don't we do that, and we're going to put it on cozy way. We're going to put itchy.
I can show you
all right?
Zeke offered. If you untie me, we ain't untying nobody, said the leader. All right, don't untie me.
All right.
Just hold it to my
So
back.
that's more.
What?
That's more reflective of all of the settings in the story up to this point.
The villains talked out.
And now,
As the domination
what's another? Can we take
Zeke managed
5 words to describe one event that's happening in the story up to this point? Yes. Let's count them out.
and started up the path by the river. With the half moon, half hell lake,
They went to the lake. Do you guys agree with that?
trees and
Yes.
tangled vines.
You do? Do you have
The
another
world
thought?
around him was still. Even the trees were asleep. But then, out of the
They set up camp.
They set up camp. That's 4 words. Can you think of one more word? How can you make the subject of that, like the beginning of the sentence? What about including the family?
so scared, he couldn't
The
breathe.
family
But when the coyotes
went to
pierced
the
his flesh,
lake.
he somehow squeaked out these
What about
stars.
here? You said take the family, and then what was the first sentence? You said the family set up camp. That's 5 words right there. So do we want to do they went to the lake or the family set up camp? Which one? First one or the second?
Second.
Second. So first we're gonna go with the majority and we're gonna say the family set up camp. Is that okay?
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Some things and not of others.
What's your
Should we
question?
ask questions?
Alright.
And if we
We're gonna do 6 words to describe another event in a story. So think about that. The fire looked warm and friendly. Let's eat, Dad said as he threaded hot dogs onto sticks. We'll need our strength later. What do you think the monster looks like? I asked my father. He dabbled the mustard from the corners of his mouth. Well, he began, I've heard it's the ugliest, meanest, slimiest thing anyone ever says. People say that if you look in the eye, your hair turns white and you're never the same again. We all just look at each other, too scared to speak. I know that he loves things that smell bad. That's why your kids should never squawk about taking baths. We all looked at the water for a long time.
They're going on drinks. We're still
All right?
reading.
Let's keep going.
All right. We're going to keep reading, okay? The coyote pulled over and yowled no more.
Do you think that if we get into the picture, it will get in the papers? Uncle Bill and my cousin asked a while. Sure, I'll make the state journal and we'll all be heroes. My dad promised. Now I think that this is just about the right time for us to begin. Begin what? I said, still scared. Dad didn't answer. It ought to come for this all right, Dad said as he put the smelly cheese on the edge of the pit. My, but you are brave kids, he said. Sure can't think of anyone that I'd rather risk my hide with than you. All right, so here's one more stopping point. What do you think is another event that's happened up to this point, and do that in 6 words. Talk with your neighbor about it, okay? 6 words. Think about what we read.
We all have the same questions sometimes. All right, can I read another one here? Why did you go back?
6 words.
All right. One more, all right?
It's sort of hard because you got to do it just a little bit of words, right? Oh. Yeah, you can see what you think.
Don't look at me.
Just write it down if you can't remember all
You already
6.
asked that, but that's a really good question. All right, I'm going to put these back after. So,
What about if we're looking at this and say,
understand what we're trying
what
to
about something about they waited?
As you guys
What were they
saw,
doing?
we
They
have so
waited
many
for
questions.
the family waited
But
for
didn't we answer a lot of
the
those questions?
to appear.
Did.
Okay, well that's 7 words. What about, you said the family waited for the monster. Is that 6? You want to add that one to our chart?
Yes. Do we have to write it down?
No, it's okay.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me today. Thank you. You guys did really great. Thank you. Can I get the crayons back?
What?
All right, guys, we're almost done. So I'm going to model the third event, and then we're going to go to the final line of this, okay? Just then, something rippled the surface of the black water. See that? My brother whispered. Something really big is out there. I squealed. My dad's face became very serious. Maybe he was even a little scared himself. What if it comes after us? My cousin Bill cried. If it looks like it's going to come after us, then run. With all your might for home. Don't look back. Just keep running, my father said. Then there was a rustling in the bulrushes. The frogs stopped croaking. Yes?
You didn't do 5.
I didn't do 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The family set up camp. We came up with that one before. So here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come up with one for 7 words that says, they saw the monster and ran. Is that 6 or 7 words? They saw the monster and ran. That's only 6 words, but I need 7 words.
They saw the family saw the monster and ran.
There's 7 words. Thank you for the help. Alright, we've got one more line, so you guys help me come up with this in line. Okay, we're almost there. Breathlessly, we told my grandma what had happened. Well, she said, I think your monster is coming through the front door right now. There was my dad, soaked to the skin, smelling real bad, covered with bulrushes. You should have seen it. Mom, my dad told Grandma between belly laughs, our monster turned out to be a floating log. Then Hardly Beach's bloodhounds found the cheese and got into a fight. I tried to separate them and slipped and fell into the water. Then my old man laughed so hard he cried.
He cried.
Some way to celebrate a certain little girl's birthday, said Grandma as she brought my cake out. A whipped cream cake with a rubber monster and candles on top. Then everyone yelled, Happy birthday! You remembered just what I wanted. And there were the pedal pushers and blouse. Dad, is there really a monster? I asked. Of course there is, my dad said between mouthfuls of whipped cream cake. Maybe next year, he said, we'll get a picture. So in 8 words, can you guys help me think of the solution to the problem? So we said the problem was they forgot her birthday. So what was the solution to it?
The family remembered and said happy birthday.
The family remembered and said happy birthday. That's 7 words. Yes.
To you. The family didn't forget.
The family did not forget her birthday. Oh, we're so close. Party. There you go.
Party beats. The family
Did not.
waited. The family waited and say happy birthday to you.
So you guys can see how hard it can be to, get this into such a concise manner. So when you guys are reading on your own, if you guys get a chance, why don't you try this summary pyramid to sort of help you focus your thoughts. So I have a copy for each of you to take, and maybe you guys can have time to do this at home or at school. So I want to thank you for working with me during this mini lesson. You guys are all finished. Thank you.